Hi, I am Jessica Lowell with 514 Photography. I'm a wedding and portrait photographer in Northeast Georgia, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about some sales-related techniques in your wedding photography business. But first, if sales and selling yourself in your business is something that does not come naturally to you and you're not even sure where to start, maybe you have trouble getting clients on a phone call or a consult, and then you get them on there and get all clammy and you don't know what to do, you're going to want to download my freebie. It's called Conversation Starters. It's the 3 questions I ask every lead once I get them on the phone or in a video chat, or perhaps you meet them in person, to make the conversation more personal and less transactional. So I'm going to link that below so you can grab that freebie. And now we are going to talk about my 3 touch points for a sales lead. Every single time I get a lead in my inbox, these are the 3 touch points that I use to communicate with them, to set myself up as a professional, to show them that I am prompt, that I'm great at communication, and that I am a leader in my industry. The first thing that happens when a wedding lead hits my inbox, I'm of course going to check to see if I'm available for their date. And if I am going to send them my wedding lead available email. Now this email is very extensive. I want to make sure I leave no room for guessing. So in that email, it even describes why this email is so lengthy. It talks about how many hours of coverage they may need. It links to a blog post. I might link galleries from their venue so they can see what they're going to expect from me. And I'm going to list my pricing. If you've been following me long enough, you already know I'm very transparent with my leads. I do send them my pricing if I'm available for their date, because I want to know if I'm going to spend time chatting with them that I am within their budget range. And I find out their budget range because I ask them on my lead form. I want to know these things, and they usually fill it out. If they don't want to fill it out, then they might not be the client for me, or I might not be the photographer for them, and that is okay. So back to the extensive email, talks about how many hours of coverage they're going to need. It lets them know what my package options are. I'm going to send also a link to a gallery, either a recent gallery or galleries from the venue that they're at, so they know what to expect from me. Then at the bottom, it's going to say, now our next step is we need to chat. Please respond to this email. Very few times do they ever respond to that email. You got to think about it. A lead, a wedding couple that is engaged, they are likely Google searching or searching on The Knot or searching on Wedding Wire, and they are filling out forms left and right. If you were not referred to them from another vendor, or if they were not maybe a bridesmaid or a groomsman in a previous wedding that you had photographed, they might have just found you online. And when they find you online, that means they probably found 20 other photographers online in the last hour. They are filling out so many forms. They get emails and they're getting inundated with them, and it is a lot. So if you're getting ghosted, it's because you sent an email and then you don't do anything else. And that, my friends, that is a lead that is yours to lose. But that's okay. I'm going to teach you what to do next. The next touch point I have with every single wedding lead is a text message. So once I send the I'm available email, I have a text message that I send my clients. I actually have it all written out. It's saved in my notes, so I can just copy and paste it and change the name and change the venue, change the date, and I will send it to the client. This is very important. Did you know that a text message has more than a 200% chance of being followed up with than any other means of communication? So more than email, more than phone calls, you're 200% at least more likely to get a response from a text message. This is why this is a very great practice to have in your business. I know some people feel like it's not professional. It is 2022. Text messaging is life. So send them a quick text message, but the really important part is in that text message, I say, I just sent you an email with everything you need to know. If you haven't seen it, please check your promotion folder. I don't like to call it a junk folder, but I call it the promotion folder. The reason I do this is earlier in my years, I used a software that was infamous for making my emails wind up in the junk mail folder somehow. Never got fixed, changed my software. I use Dubsado now, they're amazing. But I still make sure, because some people have junk mail filtering on high. So that text message lets them know, hey, check your email. I know you're looking for the price. It's in your email. And then I ask them, when is a good time to schedule a quick chat? And I hit send. And then I wait. Now, some people like to do this in video form. You can just break out the video camera on your phone, record whatever it is you like to say in your voice and your brand, and hit send. Same thing, just sent you an email, would love to chat, when is a good time to talk with you. Me personally, I'm not made up every day. So if I get a lead email bright and early in the morning, or maybe really late at night, if I don't have my face or makeup on, or I'm not dressed, or I'm in gym clothes, whatever, I don't want to go get ready just to make that video. So a text works for me. I've been doing it for 6 or 7 years now, and it has proven to be really successful in my own business. Before I move to the third touch point, I want to remind you that after these touch points, you are going to want to schedule a consult with these leads. You're going to want to talk to them, whether you do it in person or over the phone or maybe on a Zoom chat. And I have linked a guide for the first 3 questions I ask all of my wedding leads in the notes below. It helps make the consult more personable and less transactional, and really helps you break the ice and get into a good flow when talking to potential wedding clients. So don't forget to click the link below and download that guide. It'll get sent straight to your inbox where it's yours to keep forever. And last but not least, my final touch point for a wedding lead is a phone call. If you've been following me sometime, I talk about the phone call, or maybe you're on my social media. Some wedding photographers, videographers, they love to schedule in-person consults, and that's great. I actually used to do that in my first years of business, but I live in the country. So a lot of my clients were in the city of Atlanta, and I was finding myself having to get dressed. I was driving an hour into the city to meet with potential wedding clients. It always paid off, but then I had to drive an hour home, and altogether would lose 4 hours of a business day. With that, I want to suggest reading or downloading the audiobook, The E-Myth. In The E-Myth, it is discussed about the differences between working on your business and working in your business. And for me, having to travel back and forth to Atlanta to meet clients in person, have coffee, I've had dinner with potential wedding clients. It was more working in my business than on my business, and there was just so much more I could do with my time. So I made a mindset shift and decided I was going to try to book couples over the phone, which works for me because I've got over 20 years in sales experience. But what you talk about over the phone and what you talk about in person or maybe a Zoom chat, it's all the same. And today's bride, again, it's 2022. She may be in college, she may be working full time, and she's planning a wedding. Does she want to take an hour out of her day to meet with you in person? She may. But you can save your couple time if you just talk to them over the phone or do a Zoom chat or do a FaceTime chat. It just is going to give you much more time, and how much is your time worth? Okay, so now that I kind of described why I prefer a phone chat, I just want to talk about the phone chat a little bit. So I've sent the email, they know my pricing, I've sent the text message. If they respond back to the text message, which is usually the one they respond back to, they may tell me I'm free tonight at 7 or I'm free tomorrow on lunch. If they don't come back, I'm gonna call them anyway. So here's the deal with the phone call. You either schedule a phone call that works with the client's schedule and you really want something in the next 24 to 48 hours. You don't want them to wait a week, because in that 7 days, they may talk to other photographers, because your potential clients are going to book the photographers they connect with first. And it's not hard to connect with 5 different photographers, so you want to be first. Don't put it off for a week. Don't send an email and give yourself a chance to be ghosted. Send an email, send a text message, And depending on how they respond to that, you're gonna call them anyway, okay? Even if you just call to leave a voicemail and introduce yourself, at which point they might not ever chat with you, but you still wanna do your due diligence. So that is what I do with every single lead that hits my inbox. I send them an extensive email with all my pricing information. Then I send a text. You can also do a video phone call. Don't forget, it's 2022. It is not unprofessional to send text, and you're 200% or more likely to get a response. And 3, I have a phone call. Whether they answer the phone or not, I call them anyway. You have to do your due diligence because every lead that you get, they want to hear from you. They filled out your form. They're expecting to hear from you. It's not a cold call. So pick up the phone and allow yourself the chance to shine. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Again, don't forget my free guide if you have trouble starting conversation with potential wedding leads. You definitely want to check out the 3 questions I ask every couple. They're simple and they're personable. Thank you and have a blessed day.